Hello everyone. In this video, I will demonstrate how I used Douanba Edit to complete the rest of the paper, generate a draft of the summary and conclusion for me to revise and finalize, and then export it as a submission-ready PDF. To draft the section forecasting the probability that countries that have not won medals since 2000 will secure their first medal, I asked Message Douanba to suggest the data needed for such predictions. I copied Douanba's suggestions into the writing area, edited them, and emphasized that the only data I can use are the athlete event records in Summerali_athletes.csv. From that dataset, as shown in a previous video, I extracted team size, number of events entered, and historical cases of countries moving from 0 medals to their first medal. In particular, I fitted a logistic regression to estimate each 0-medal country's probability of winning its first medal. Listed are the top countries predicted to win their first medals with probabilities over 55% and their odds. This is the preview of this section. Next, we analyzed sport-medal relationships and evaluated the hosting advantage for a country. For this purpose, we used the athlete event dataset, Summerali_athletes_filtered_ since 2000.csv, and executed the Python programs recommended by Douanba for these tasks. Shown here is a random sample of 3 countries and their most significant events. We compared for each sport a host country's total medals in the hosting year divided by the number of events it entered at those games, which often include multiple events, with its average total medals divided by the number of events it participated in during non-hosting games. Shown here is the sports with positive host effects for China, ordered from largest to smallest. We tallied the medals the host country won in new events during its hosting year, defined as events not held in the previous games, and computed the ratio of medals won in these new events to medals won in existing events. Presented here are the ratios for China, Great Britain, and France, with 5.74 to 11.5%. This pattern indicates a host advantage at the event level. This is the preview of this section. I investigated the athlete event medal dataset to identifying coach effects at the sports level. I ran a Python code suggested by Douanba to compute for a given country its average medal count in a particular sport over the previous several games, and the average medal count for the same sport over the recent 2 games. Any changes could be attributed, among other factors, to recent coach effects, as well as athletes' abilities. Shown here are the top 5 U.S. sports with the largest coach effects, and the bottom 5 with the smallest coach effects. Notably, U.S. volleyball has performed well recently, likely reflecting a substantial coaching effect, while swimming has declined, possibly because the swimming superstar Michael Phelps has retired. Besides estimating coach effects, the athletes' sports medals dataset yields additional insights. For example, following Douanba's suggestion, computing the correlation across all countries and years between team size and total medals gives a Pearson coefficient of about 0.85, strongly indicating that larger teams tend to win more medals. China converts athletes into medals more efficiently than the US and UK. Athletes from smaller teams also stand out. Ethiopia exhibits high gold medal efficiency, and Jamaica has taken about 6 to 7 golds in recent games in sprint events, outperforming China in medal efficiency. This is the preview of this section. I will now document the strengths and limitations of using Poisson GLMs to predict country-level medal counts with confidence intervals, and specify the additional data needed to improve predictions that emerge during modeling. Douanba provided useful suggestions for the strengths and weaknesses based on the data files I shared. I incorporated those suggestions into the draft and edited them to clarify my points. Finally, I listed the desired data for better modeling, including each athlete's outcome in the events they participated in, such as their ranking and the margin from winning a medal, rather than just the binary outcome of winning a medal or not winning. With the primary content complete, I asked Douanba to produce a summary and a conclusion. I clicked the automation button on the AI toolbar, selected Summary, and instructed it to cover the approach and key results for each task. Douanba produced a summary based on the full text and my instructions. I then condensed that summary into a single-page version. During editing, I turned on the auto button to generate rapid previews of my edits until I was satisfied. Next, I chose automation and then conclusion to have Domba generate a conclusion, and I edited it with auto preview enabled until I was satisfied. I wanted to add some references. I asked Message Domba for suggestions on Poisson GLMs and negative polynomial GLMs, and for recent academic research on predicting Olympic medal counts. I reviewed each suggested reference before selecting it. Then I used the citation option in the referencing panel to enter those references and added citations in the introduction section. To create a submission-ready PDF, I clicked Export, chose the LaTeX template for COMAP math modeling, entered the control number for the paper, and clicked Save and Continue to generate it. I then downloaded the PDF to my hard drive. This is how the PDF appears. To detect content gaps in the manuscript, I opened Review, selected the Math Modeling Paper option, and uploaded the PDF I had just downloaded. Domba highlighted several items in red that required improvement, most of which concerned the summary. I would revise the summary according to Domba's recommendations. I also dismissed some suggestions that, given the specific circumstances, I judged unnecessary. I repeated this process until I was satisfied. That concludes this video and the series. I have demonstrated step-by-step and with Domba's assistance how to tackle Problem C from the MCM contest from start to finish. Thank you for watching, and best of luck in your competition.